within this organization, you play a specific role. And I know your role is, I couldn't do it, I'll be honest, as much as, I manage a charity as well and all of that, but I can't be on that front line of the phone calls and the support groups and, talking to people directly and admissions and all of that, because I'm weak. So, to me, it's kind of like, whoever's in that line here, just bring all of them in and just give them everything. Here's a shirt off my back. And, it just, and I can't even see through the cracks. So I'm sure there's difficult stories that, you just can't deal with. I'm sure there are stories that are easier to help. And I'm sure there are problems within the cracks. Can you kind of give me a little bit of each? Tell me the inspiring story. Tell me the story that'll bring tears to your eyes right now, and tell me the story of somebody, taking advantage of a situation.
Okay. So, loaded question.
Yes.
So specific to my role, so I'll explain it to you guys. So this is kind of how it looks like on a Sunday. So we set up all the tables and we put the food, the clothes, all that stuff on the tables, and there's a line. Now, the people start lining up the night before. So what we have is somebody that does live on Skid Row that we've grown to trust, that will give out like a small little postcard note of who is in what order, right? And then that morning, on Sunday morning, then when we get there, then now we hand out numerical tickets. The tickets with the long numbers on them. Yeah. So we give them out in order. And then we start setting up at 8:30 in the morning. So one of the things that just kind of ended up becoming sort of my job was because when other people tried to do it, it became chaos and dangerous. So we do have security now. We did not always have security. For the first 2 years, we did not have security. We would have like men. And actually, I do want to say this, is that we really do have an equal amount of men and women that volunteer their time. And I'm always so proud just to see how many men come and volunteer their time. It's amazing. Yeah. So, since we wouldn't always know like who's going to show up, that was kind of the challenge in the beginning, right? Is because like, are we going to have enough protection, So as much as we want to have the heart to give and to serve, there are people that, are not mentally healthy. And so they can be dangerous, right? So then we would have certain men kind of like stand there, whatever. So we had to like work out those kinks. But as far as like for me, and then that became my job, was to manage and run the line. And what that means is I'm like, as Victoria calls it, I'm the gatekeeper. So they have to come through me in order for them to be able to walk through the line to receive, the food and the clothes and whatnot. So, in preparation actually for this, in the morning, before I even get there, I do actually like a whole practice of like meditation and prayer. And I visualize the area and I visualize the space to fill it with light. And to fill it with love and, and ask for protection, right? So I tested it out actually, where I didn't do it. And then like terrible things happened and stuff like that, so I like really tested it out. And so then I started sharing it with some of the other volunteers and they're like, did you do your thing this morning? And so I was like, yes, I did. They're like, okay. And so, what is, now why it's easier, I think, is because most of the regulars and a lot of people, like, they know who I am and they know how our process is and they know how it works. We also did not start off with the ticket system. So mind you, before a ticket system, you can imagine, then it was probably a little bit more chaotic, which it was. And so now, because of, even if there's newcomers and they see, oh, okay, like everybody's following the system, like I guess I should fall in line and do that. But we, of course, will always have those that want to try to infiltrate the system. Like, for example, this last Sunday, a gentleman, he was maybe like 60 people back, right? But he came to the front of the line, and I'm like, sir, it's not your turn yet. You're going to have to wait. And then he was like, man, he's like, I don't care about this SHIT. He's like, I get money. I don't even need this. F that, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, well, just wait right there, okay? Whatever. So then he starts talking, and I'm like thinking in my mind, okay, is he going to escalate, or what's going to happen, right? So mind you, the security like actually has mentioned that when I'm there, the line runs smooth. When I'm not there, it's chaotic. So he doesn't even he's not even like near me. He's on the whole other side. So he doesn't see what's actually happening anymore because he trusts me so much. But anyway, so now I have this man here who's like running his mouth, and I'm having to still deal with the people and, letting them go through the line. And so, so then what ends up happening is, because like I remained calm and I just kept, validating him and listening to him or whatever, then he ended up calming down. He started like complimenting me, started saying all kinds of positive things. And then he waited. He literally waited for 60 people to pass him. And then he calmly went on in the line, So, so that's one of the things, is that I've had to learn to be very firm with like following my own protocol and following my own system. Right. And so now,
but also you're doing it mindfully and conscious of who you're dealing with. So for everybody listening, especially the police, de-escalate the situation. Try to deal with people in a way that they can understand